All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. We're going to get right into the stock market technical analysis. If you guys are new to the channel, basically what I like to do is go through the charts. We're looking for trade ideas, and I try to point out trade ideas. I give you price targets. I give you levels, to potentially stop out at, or when to understand when we're wrong. Everything's technically based, and at the end of the day, we're looking to be profitable traders. So that's what this channel is about. If you guys can find some value in that, drop me a thumbs up, okay? And then additionally, if you're interested in learning kind of how to read the charts, how to set up your own trade setups, how to find high probability trades, check out my course. I priced it affordable for all. It's not out of control pricing like I've seen some other guys on YouTube. Again, that's kind of a 4 to 5 video course, and then I give you a checklist on what to look for to find high probability trades, okay? So risk management, candlestick analysis, divergence analysis, money management. It's all in there. It's all in the course. It's all the skills and tools that I use on a day-to-day basis. And I put that course together a couple years ago at the request of my subscribers. And it's available if you're interested. So link in the description below. Finally, private member group. If you're interested, you should find a link to join that. It's $5 a month. Everything on my channel is affordable, okay? I'm not gouging anybody at the end of the day. In that private member group, I'll give you guys additional market insights, things I see in the morning. I'm commenting in there before I get these videos out. And then additionally, I throw up some additional trade ideas. I threw out 2 yesterday afternoon, and those are already cashing quite nicely. So, okay, let's get into it. Triple Qs, again, holiday week today. So we're going to narrow it down to the hourly chart. And it's holiday week trading. We're kind of grinding, really low volume, grinding around. Honestly, I don't have a really good read this week on where this thing's going to go. We could rally some more. I don't think we're going to be selling off, but anything's possible. My biggest suggestion, at least what I'm doing, is keeping everything relatively light. All right, on the triple Qs, my trade positions are not very heavy. I'm a lot heavier in some of those gold stocks, which those were better setups. But for right now, triple Qs sitting there at resistance, 284.50. You can see on the daily chart, that's kind of resistance, popped above it. We've been grinding around this level for a couple weeks now, so I don't expect any change, any kind of major breakouts to happen this week. So that's it. I think if anything, if I had to put a bias on anything, maybe a slight drift higher. Okay. But in general, I'm looking across some of these stocks like Qualcomm. We're just trading right here at resistance. This one, big level here at 123-ish right here. I've got all these areas of support marked out. I've marked them several times in many videos, but there's support, and then it's resistance. And as I move in, you can see we're just grinding around below resistance. Just no change, no technical change. So the price action that we see on an intraday basis can chop around, but no technical change on the bigger daily charts. NASDAQ futures, we'll look at those real quick, and then we'll get off these indices because I just don't see a whole lot. Maybe a potential pop where we could kind of continue to grind higher, maybe up to this 11,846 area. But, that's it. I don't have a good read on it. Let's move on to the gold stocks. Okay, gold. So a lot more interesting here. This is gold bullion. Gold bullion continues to, it looks like we're going to sell off a little bit more. We've got big support here at 1725. Yesterday, we basically came close. They stepped in and bought, but we're starting to fade, so maybe it's going to come down and hit that. If you do hit that here relatively soon, then we're going to have bullish divergence, continued bullish divergence on the hourly chart. So let me show you guys that. You'll see here, it will look something like this. As long as it shapes up, we'll have a new lower low in price, but higher low in momentum, and it will be a divergent low. So looks like good support right there to me, and I do expect that the buyers will be in this area. We might undercut it briefly, maybe for a day or two, but I do think they're going to step in and buy. That was former resistance here, should be former support. So that's it on gold bullion. Looking at the futures, same kind of look. You know, basically you've got resistance, former resistance, which should now be support, which is right there at about that 1740 area. And today, just below it, basically just on it. Just another test of this level. So as it looks right now, still looks good. Even if we want to dip down and maybe take out these lows here at 1734, if they do it briefly, kind of fall down, you're going to have bullish divergence as well. So I suspect that would get bought up and it'd recover. So something like that. We're kind of, seems like we're building a bottom, but it's a light trading week, so don't expect anything crazy to happen. Here's the gold miners rallying off of what looked to be support yesterday. In general, you know, we are potentially creating this flag here. So you got the flag pole, and then what you want to do is just kind of mark out this flag. I'd say it's something like this. It's not the cleanest flag, to be honest. Maybe we take it down like that. Anywhere, somewhere right in there. Maybe a few more days to develop this flag. And then if we're going to break out of the flag, what you want to do is do a continuation. And it's going to put us at, actually, we go like that, depending on when we break out. And I think it's sending, the projected target is about 35 bucks in this GDX. Okay. So that is a potential, not guaranteed, of course, because we don't have that breakout on the flag, but so far it's looking good today. Silver futures, again, silver looks decent to me as well. If I zoom out, this is the daily chart, but we've got some support, decent support right in here at about 2061. You can see it's basically support all through here, then it was resistance, little overshoot right there, but in general resistance. And it should be support right here. If I go down to the hourly chart, you can see, I mean, we're just coming off of a divergent low here on the hourly. So there it is. Bullish divergence was in place back here. So that's a divergent low, and we are getting the rally. So it's by the dip as far as I can tell. We rally up, we fall down to support, we continue to rally, okay? Next move is likely up to this 200-day moving average, and it looks like there's some resistance right in there. Yeah, right about in there, we'll say, which is about 2150, we'll call it. So I think that's the next target for silver futures, is up there, and the miners should continue to rally. FSLR, no real change today. We're the last couple days, you can see we're just grinding around, going up with a slight lean towards up, obviously, but still just chopping around. Technically, when I look at the daily chart, and let me go ahead and get rid of this line here. We've got this bearish rising wedge, and we're at the peak or the apex of the wedge, so it should resolve soon, one way or the other. Now they might want to pop it up and then break it down. That's common to see sometimes. It's usually a fake out move, so look for that. But otherwise, at the end of the day, I'm expecting us to break down. That's what this pattern's telling us. That's what this negative divergence that remains is telling us on the daily, is that we are going to break to the downside. So still looks good, still technically sound for a short trade. Although the one thing is that you do have to recognize is that there's, off this pattern here, this bearish rising wedge, typically you want to wait for the breakdown of the wedge for the sell signal. So you want to wait till you break right here. And we don't have that yet. So, you know, I think it's definitely aggressive to be short on this thing here. But there's two areas to short. One is on break of the wedge, or you can short on a test of resistance. And right now, resistance is right up here, basically where we're at, roughly. Someone asked me to cover CAT, so no change in my analysis from the last time I looked at it. We've got this trend line here that CAT seems to be walking up. Until that breaks, there's no sell signal. Now you do have negative divergence showing up, so I think it will break, but until it breaks, no sell signal. If it breaks, probably going to head down to this lower trend line right here. Okay, and then a break of that should set us up for a move down to fill this gap at 199.58. Likely get a reaction there and then continue lower. So no change in CAT. It is moving up, and until you get a break of this trend line here, it will likely continue to move up. Okay, here's a long trade idea. IBM. All right, this looks like we've got a breakout. coming in this one. So, or the breakouts occurred. So if I roll out, and we got to go to the weekly chart for this one. Weekly, you've got this big isometrical triangle basically. So this is going back, you know, all the way back to 2002 when this started, but really about 2012. So 10 years, you've got this big triangle. IBM has just been, you know, really floundering, and it's essentially been in a bear market since 2013. Okay, you can see it's just dropped a total of 60% after COVID hit. We've got a breakout now. You can see here on the weekly. Look at that strong breakout in on the weekly chart. If I roll down to the daily, you see also on the weekly there is negative divergence. It's definitely there, but it's not fully confirmed. So if this continues higher, you're going to burn through that divergence on the weekly. The other thing is if I go to the daily, you can see here, there's your breakout, and we basically are marching higher right here. We had negative divergence, but that's gone. That's been burned through on the daily. We made a higher high in momentum. So burning through the divergence, wasn't a very strong divergence. It just started to show up and it burned right through it. So there's definitely strength here. And I do like this as maybe a longer term buy. Not here though. If I go down to the hourly, you've got this trend line. It's been just marching up right here. Ideally, I'd like to see a pullback, maybe to support or so. That'd be the best entry. If you jump in right here, you're kind of chasing it. It's pretty extended. I mean, this thing's gone really just straight up for since October 13th, and it's up 28% in just a matter of, you know, 6 weeks or so. So I'd be looking for some sort of a pullback. We are starting to build some negative divergence on the hourly. I'll show you guys that right here. Okay, so there it is, negative divergence on the RSI, and it is there on the PPO as well, as you can see. Let me clean this up right there. Okay, so if you get the break of this trend, that's probably going to be good for a pullback. Maybe I would say back down to about this 139. Yeah, anywhere down to about 139-ish, right in there, 138.50, 139. To me, that looks like the potential area to buy and go long, and I've got it marked out right there. So that's what I'd be looking for on that one. Kind of a longer term setup, but looks okay. Okay, that's all I have for today, guys. I'll get the video out, and I'll catch you on the next one.